Ever wondered how you could reduce waste, combat climate change, and improve your garden all at the same time? Well, the answer lies in something as simple as composting. Composting is a natural process that transforms your kitchen scraps and yard waste into nutrient-rich soil, perfect for gardening. Now you might be thinking, why is composting so important? For starters, composting is a great way to reduce waste. In fact, about 30% of what we throw away can be composted. And by composting, we're not just reducing waste, we're also helping to combat climate change by reducing the amount of methane, a potent greenhouse gas released from landfills. But that's not all. For all you green thumbs out there, composting is a game changer. It can help you create a lush, vibrant garden by enriching the soil, retaining moisture, and suppressing plant diseases and pests. Plus, it saves you money on commercial fertilizers. Composting is not just beneficial, it's essential. So how can you start composting at home? Starting your compost pile doesn't have to be complicated. It's all about balancing your ingredients. Look at it this way. Your compost pile is like a gourmet meal for microbes. You're the chef, and the ingredients you use will make all the difference. Your compost recipe starts with two main elements, greens and browns. Greens are your nitrogen-rich materials. Think of things like your kitchen scraps, coffee grounds, or fresh grass clippings. They're the protein in the microbial meal. On the other side, we have the browns, which are carbon-rich materials. These could be leaves, twigs, shredded paper, or even cardboard. Browns are like the carbs that give energy to the microbes. It's important to get a good balance between these elements. Too many greens and your compost pile might start to smell. Too many browns and the composting process could take a while. Aim for a mix that's about equal parts greens and browns. Now let's talk about composting methods. Backyard composting is a common method where you simply start a compost pile or bin in your backyard. It's a good choice if you have the space and a decent amount of garden waste. But what if you live in an apartment or don't have a backyard? That's where vermicomposting comes in. Vermicomposting is composting with the help of worms, specifically red wigglers. These little guys are voracious eaters and can turn your kitchen scraps into rich compost in no time. Remember, composting is more art than science. Don't worry if your balance isn't perfect right from the start. You'll quickly get the hang of it. With the right balance, your compost pile will be teeming with life and ready to nourish your garden. If you are finding this video informative and helpful, don't forget to show your support by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the notification bell. Your participation is invaluable and greatly appreciated as it helps support the channel and allows us to continue creating content that empowers you on your health journey. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for products that promote a healthy life. Let's continue with that video. Now that you know what goes into your compost pile, let's talk about how to build and maintain it. The first step is to select the perfect spot. You want a location that's easily accessible but not too close to living areas, as composting processes can sometimes produce a bit of an odor. Once you've found your spot, it's time to start building. Begin with a layer of browns. These are your leaves, straw, and other carbon-rich materials. This layer should be about 3 to 4 inches thick and will serve as a base for your pile. Next, add a layer of greens, your vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, and other nitrogen-rich materials. This layer should be about the same thickness as your brown layer. These greens will provide the necessary nitrogen for the composting microorganisms to thrive. Now, repeat these layers until your pile is about 3 feet high. This is the ideal height as it allows for good airflow, but is not too high that the pile becomes compacted and slows down the composting process. Maintaining your compost pile is just as important as building it. This involves turning or stirring the pile every week or two. This helps to speed up the decomposition process and prevents the pile from developing an unpleasant odor. So, how do you know when your compost is ready to use? Well, it should look like dark, crumbly topsoil and have a pleasant, earthy smell. If it's still recognizable as the original materials, it needs a little more time. Remember, patience is key when it comes to composting. It's a natural process and can't be rushed, but the reward is worth it. In the end, you'll have rich, nutrient-dense compost that your plants will love. A well-maintained compost pile transforms your kitchen and yard waste into black gold for your garden. Composting is a simple yet powerful way to enhance your garden while doing your part for the planet. Let's take a moment to revisit what we've learned. Composting is an excellent way to reduce waste while simultaneously enriching your soil with vital nutrients. The basic elements of a compost pile are green waste for nitrogen, brown waste for carbon, water, and air. By carefully balancing these elements, you can cultivate a thriving compost pile. Building and maintaining your compost pile is a rewarding process. Remember, the key is to keep it moist, aerated, and well-balanced between green and brown waste. It might take a bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be amazed at the transformation from everyday waste to nutrient-rich compost. Now it's your turn to experience the magic of composting. Give it a try and watch as your garden flourishes in ways you've never seen before. Start composting today and let your garden thrive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the links in the description for more information on composting.